Hi everybody, Adrienne here, back again for round two. This is my second video ever, and I'm going to be sharing with you my process. And tonight's theme is actually going to be Flying Unicorns Mojo Monday. Every Monday we put out a sketch, and us girls take turns sharing our inspirational piece to go along with the sketch, and this week it's my turn. You can find the Mojo Monday sketch on Flying Unicorn forums. You can find it on my blog, and I will attach the link here when I'm finished. I just want to adjust my view thing here. I hope the lighting is a little bit better. And okay, so let's get started. Tonight I am going to be basing my project around lots of misting, painting, stamping, and flowers. A lot of my favorites. So let's go through quickly some of the things that I have pulled. Now if I use them, that's a different story. But let's just go through it quickly. First off, my paper, I have picked Prima Hello Pastel Sugar Cube. I fell in love with this sheet in particular because I thought it would be so cool to cut these out. And I already pre-cut everything, so it would be ready for you tonight. I've distressed most of the edges, and I'm going to be inking them a little later. The back side is this fun chevron pattern in a pink. Love pink. I have already gone ahead and did my background treatment, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I'm going to flip this back over, and I'm just going to go through with you some of the items that I chose. So from the Flying Unicorn store, I picked several Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. I have a Tattered Rose. I have a Pomegranate. I have, mine is Beetle Black, but she carries Black Magic, which is practically the same thing. I have Cardboard, which I don't believe we have, but it's Glimmer Mist, but it's a baseboard, which means there's no glimmer, obviously. I think that she carries something similar to it, maybe Decadence, might be, or Nougat. That might also be something similar. Lily Pad, Creme de la Rose, Blackberry Cordial, which I don't think she carries. That's one of my favorites, and Crushed Shells. I know that she does carry that one. That's one of my favorites. So I'm going to put those back real quick. I also pulled some fun textured art mediums, Stampendous Frantage Shave Ice. I'm going to take a look at that. That is so shimmery. I love the sparkle that it gives when it hits the light. Gives this almost like lime green iridescence. I also have Martha Stewart micro beads in 3 different colors. I don't know if I'm going to be using them, obviously, but I wanted to pull them. I sometimes add these to my backgrounds to give it a little bit of added texture, especially if there's some gesso. I'll just sprinkle it on the gesso before I start misting, or even after I mist. I have my Prima chalk edgers in 3 different colors. Flying Unicorn carries most of the colors in this line. I love them. Got the color box, mixed media inks. I have black, and I'm pretty sure it's leather. Just let me double check. I keep mine stacked, and they don't close very easily, so I have a rubber band around it. And I always store my my inks upside down, so when I go to use it, the ink is right there on the surface. I pulled some Prima stamps to add some background, and a Tim Holtz mixed media stamp. Got some really fun ones there. Okay, on to the fun part. My favorite part, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. I have some Manor House Creations flowers, which I have misted till my heart's content. Let me actually pull all the ones that I altered. I have altered a lot of these flowers ahead of time to go along with these beautiful images that I found on the paper. Look at that. I think those are peonies. Gosh, they're gorgeous. Love that. That is so pretty. So I began pulling some of the colors that I saw out of these, out of this pattern paper, and started pulling flowers that I thought that I might be able to use. I wanted to kind of go with something that looked similar to the peonies. Obviously, I don't have, or peonies. I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is, but I'm just going to go with my gut on that one. Anyways, off on a tangent. I have altered these to suit my needs, and I just pulled some that I thought that might work. I probably won't use all of these tonight. I just want to show you what it first started out like. It's a Prima. I took my brush, and where is my brush? I used my fun little brush, dipped it in some gesso, and whitewashed them. When they were dry, I went back over it with some inks. I think this, I can't remember what this brand is. It's that, I can't pronounce it. TSUKINEKL. I know that all of you know what that brand is. Michaels carries it. Pretty sure the Flying Unicorn carries it. Anyways, I have inked some of it, and I've misted some of them to suit my needs and to make it get it to where it needs to be. So we will put those aside. I've also pulled some Prima resins and some Prima metals. Little sweet little bird cage. I have already pre-treated them with some watercolor. You can see that it's not white. It's more like a tannish, almost orangey color. Maybe I would probably say more of a peach. So I pre-treated those. I pulled some leaves, and I pulled a Hello Pastel metal trinket from Prima. I pulled a freckled fawn wooden piece, pulled some Prima wooden elements, and where are my favorites? Okay. My Studio Calico stars, wooden stars. I am so obsessed with these. I love to just sprinkle them on at the very end and just glue them down where they land. I think they're so cool. Anyways, okay. So I have also, I wanted to show you. I pulled some watercolor. I got this from Michaels. It's $5 retail, but with your 40% off coupon, I mean, it costs like something a little less or a little more than $3. I mean, you can't beat that. They dry really quickly though, so you have to be pretty fast on your feet. But I am pretty excited to experiment with these tonight and see what happens. I also pulled my Crafters Workshop stencils. Flying Unicorn carries a wide variety of these guys. And that's a chevron. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is. Lastly, I picked my title. It's Scrap FX, New Chippies. I have already they come obviously in this tan color when they're cut. I just went ahead and primed all of them. That way I don't have to waste any time. I can just get to it. When I'm doing a project, I can just rip them out, you know, mist them, ink them, stamp them, and just be on my way, just to save myself a little bit of time. Aren't those gorgeous? Look at those. Oh, I love every single one of them. Anyways, obviously I pulled one off already and used it. Okay. Oh, and lastly, for definition and detail, I have my Smash pen. It's a glue stick on the end and a fine tip marker on the other. And I'm going to be using this tonight to do some detail work with my masking. So, okay, let's get rolling. Okay. Oh, and P.S. just last time, my last video, I was wearing this really nice sweater, and all my scrappy friends were like, "What were you doing wearing that?" And I thought to myself, yeah, what was I doing wearing that? It was just lucky that I did not get anything on it. So I have my cooking apron on, which I never used to cook. P.S. Cooking aprons are not for cooking anymore, my Williams-Sonoma friends. So I have my cooking apron here on. I do use it from time to time. Sometimes I'm just in the moment and I just don't care. Like today I wore a shirt to Target and it had gesso on it. And I was pretty embarrassed because it was in a strange spot. But anyways, I digress. Alright, so just going through my process again, showing you some tips and tricks along the way. I've decided that I'm going to, in the future, be sharing with you some techniques that I use. I'm going to be doing some about misting. I'm going to do some on gesso techniques, stencil techniques, inking, stamping, all that good stuff. So right now I am just going around the edges of my little paper. I don't know if I'm going to be using any of this. I will be using some of it. The Mojo Monday sketch had lots of layers underneath the photo. So this is my rendition of layers. I'm going to layer them on top of another. I'm going to give them lots of dimension with my mounting tape. And we will just have lots of fun trying out some new ways to get these guys on here. Okay, so I have it all nice and primed. You can always go back over it and get it really dark. I love using black as an accent color. It really makes stuff pop. So I am using a makeup sponge. I found that that's the best way to go about doing it. You can always rub your ink pad along for really defined edges, which I'll do a couple of them. I like that. That's pretty cool. So you can really blend it in with the makeup sponge, and then on the very frayed edge, get the black in there. That really cool, makes it look cool. I used my Tim Holtz Distresser. There's a couple other different ways. You can use your scissors, the edge of your scissors, but I wouldn't recommend that sometimes because I've cut myself a couple times doing that, and it's obviously not fun. So I'm going just back in and just kind of blending the edges a little bit. Okay. I don't know which ones of these I'm going to be using. I'm just kind of altering them and just seeing where I go. Okay, so we finished distressing the edges here, and I'm going to move on to share with you how I created the background. I did this pretty ahead of time because I wanted to make sure that it was completely dry and ready for me to mist and paint on. So I did leave an extra sheet here to show you exactly how I got this look. It's very distressed, kind of messy. Starting to find that I'm very clean, neat freak type A personality, but I'm finding I more and more enjoy messiness on my layouts. So I kind of lined it up with the arrows, and I am down, swiping it down, picking up some gesso as I go through, maybe not filling in all the arrows completely. Okay, so I'm just using the back of a scrap paper here. Once it dries, I'll probably just flip it over and just die cut or use the rest of it. But for this purpose, I'm just using this as an example of how I did it. So I'm pulling it up, and you can see the design here. So I'm going to let it sit for a couple minutes, and okay, I'm going to make sure I get every little bit of the gesso back in that tub. I am obsessed with gesso, and I love, I just stuck my hand in it, can you believe that? Oh, that's the best. Anyways, well, that's a good thing because I like the texture that it gives. Sometimes I even do this to kind of make it messy, give some little peaks to it. That's the beauty of the super heavy gesso, that it just kind of, you can mold it a little bit more than the regular. I always keep baby wipes on hand, and I found that Pampers, or maybe it's Huggy or Pampers, has a one and done now, which is now my new favorite baby wipe for my kids. And I found that it actually is one and done awesomeness to use for scrapping too. So I'm losing my train of thought here. Okay, so I added some texture to this. I let it sit just for a couple minutes, and then I went back in on my layout and I kind of swiped it just lightly to kind of give it that messy look. Okay, it doesn't take much. Then I went back over, and whitewashed a little bit around the edges just to rough it up. Okay, so that you can see that it's not so defined. It's more, blurred edges, more kind of whimsical, crazy, just plain old messy fun. And that's how I created my background. But again, I wanted to make sure that it was completely dry before I brought it in. Meanwhile, while I was kind of letting it sit and letting my daughter fall back to sleep, I went ahead and defined with my Smash marker from the Flying Unicorn store to give some shadow on my my stencil piece. You can see that I've outlined half of the arrows underneath to kind of make it look like it's shadow. I did not do this part up here, so I'm going to go back in real quick. I just left that blank because I wanted you to see the difference. I hope that the lighting is good, that I can, that you can tell. And I just go back in the parts that it's kind of, blurred edges. I just kind of pretend that the lines are still there. For some reason, I have to keep it on one edge. It's just something with my brain. Just work faster if I can just keep it on the one side. Okay. Oh, I messed that one up. That's okay. Your layout does not have to be perfect. I have found that some of my masterpieces, pieces that I really love more than anything, were just, I just went crazy. I just did whatever, lots of layers, lots of texture, and just kind of live it up. Okay. All right. I think we're done with that. All right. We're on to the next part. All right. I am going to now add my layers of paper. I'm going to save the misting and the flowers for last because I don't want to waste my paints and mist. So, okay. I kind of had an idea of how I wanted it to lay. Now, as you can remember from the last video, do not lay anything down until you're absolutely sure that that's where you want it to go. Obviously, I am covering up a lot of my masking, and that's okay too. Just kind of getting it to where I want it. You kind of play around with the layers a lot. Here, I'm going to add my photo. It's really cute. Maybe add this over here up a little bit. Cute. Okay, I'm liking that. So you can already tell because I've scrunched up the paper a bit that there's a lot of dimension to it. When I add that mounting tape, boy does it really ever pop. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my mounting tape. This stuff is awesome. And I'm just gonna kind of build it up. Okay, so just get that one into there. Now you can move this, but it's a little tricky too. I'm so glad that I found this. I actually found it at Kmart. Kmart near me was going out of sale and out of business, and I was like, I wonder if that mounting tape would be any good. And boy, does it ever work. I'm really, really happy with how much it adds. So I'm gonna keep using it. So I'm just adding my layers. I don't usually take everything off and lay it on at one time. I kind of lay it on how I want it and then just kind of pick up the pieces, you know, to lift it back and then tuck it in, because I am a pretty forgetful person and have found that I'll lay something down and then I won't remember where I put it. And I've also taken pictures of stuff too. Like, oh, you know, I like how that looks, and I forgot. So, going in here, I'll give that a little pop up. Okay. So just throw it to the side. That one needs a little bit extra. It's a little fickle friend. See how I'm just pulling it up like I don't care. Alright, so in the Mojo Monday sketch, there's layers upon layers underneath this photo. So this is just my interpretation of it. There's arrows coming out of it, and there's like little banner things, and I'm just not in the mood to do that for this one. Not in the mood for banners tonight, I guess. I have a hard time with sketches sometimes. I interpret it very literally at times. And what's the fun in that? So, alright. So I'm just going back in and I'm just looking to see where I might need to add a little bit of, I'll add a little bit of dimension. I'm just going back in. Alright. So it's looking good right now. I'm going to take my photo away from it. Make sure that I have it how I want it. Alright, so I'm tucking that in. Boy, I'm really glad that I pre-did this background, so I'm wasting time. I'm a little chatty cat. I'm pretty quick scrapper, but I'm trying to make it my goal to keep my videos under an hour. I'd like to do even faster. For this time being, I'm just going to talk here for a minute while I'm finishing this up. I found for the time being that I'm not going to edit my videos. I'm not going to add music to them. I really want you to get to know me as a scrapper. I think that's more fun. Maybe I'll add some music when I'm not in the mood. But I'm in the mood to talk tonight. Although I am a little nervous because I've never done this before. Alright, so we're just lifting that up. Alright. Ooh, like it. Like it, like it, like it. Okay, that might be added on at the end. Oh, very cool. Add that right there. Okay, just like that. I encourage you to try to see what you think about this mounting tape. In the end, I think, you know, Michael sells the scrap dots, and you just have to pull every single little dot out and peel every single little tiny piece off, and who has time for that? I really don't have time. But they don't sell rolls of this, I don't believe. So I've just experimenting with a new way, and hopefully it works out for me, and I continue to use this. I'm loving the mounting tape. Okay, alright, I think that I might just have it ready, but I'm really liking this print here, and I don't want to hide it. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be a little daring, and I'm going to turn it this way. That way you can see a little bit more of the pink. I'm going to peel it off the back a little bit. I want to be able to see that pink. Alright. Alright. Okay. Oh, that is cool. Right. I might even tuck the picture underneath. We'll see. Let's see if it tickles my fancy. Okay. For now, that's how I'm going to leave it. Okay. Look at that. That's the underside. Hope you can see there. It's really popping out. Okay. I remember back when I started scrapping, I would see such flat. My layouts were so flat, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And how can I'm trying to fold paper and tape it underneath there, and I'm like, and then one day I went to Michael's and I was like, aha, you know those aha moments where you're like, oh, I get it now. And then you start going online and you see all these girls. Oh, you know, I used that foamy adhesive, and you're like, duh, I shouldn't have done that in the first place. Okay, alright, so I'm going to add my little photo. I love the picture of my daughter. She's so cute. Okay. I actually added, I've been obsessed lately with doing these wallet-sized pictures. First off, you get 4 of them, and you know, if you make a mistake, that's great, you can just throw one away. But I've also liked layering one on top of the other, sometimes even 3 at a time. And I think I'm going to lay that like right under there like that. Okay, but I'm going to fuss with that a little later. I gotta get going. Alright, so I'm going to start misting and painting. I'm going to use my Creme de la Rouge. And right now, last time I used the nozzle of the spray bottle, but tonight I think I'm just going to use my paintbrush. I'm just adding it haphazardly. Oh, it's flicking. Oh, and P.S. when you're not using it, keep your photos off to the side. You don't know how many times I've actually messed up my poor layouts. Okay, getting that Chrome de la Rouge in there. I'm going to put a little bit over here. Okay. All right. So it's a good base. Just adding some dark against the back. All right. Now this one's pretty light. The Tattered Rose. I'm going to put it directly on the gessoed stencil area. That makes it really pop. I need another brush. Just going to see if it even shows up. Right now it's not showing up, and I'm thinking it's because it's right on that pink background. I think if you use, like, if it was on like white background, it would be different. But I'm not going to use that. But I am going to use the pomegranate, and I'm just going to go. There's very little purple in here, so I'm just kind of, I'm actually use the nozzle for this. And when you kind of take the nozzle and drag it against the paper, it makes these cool flicks. I encourage you to try it with any of your little bottles. Just flick it. Drag it against your paper. Okay. Now I'm going to go down here. Kind of coming out the bottom. There's my flicking. And there it goes on my apron. Told you, ladies. Ooh, that is fun. There I go, using the nozzle again. When I said I wasn't. Okay. Ooh, this is really cool. Alright. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be very brave. And I wasn't sure if I was going to use this or not, but I think I'm going to. There is some hints of very, 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 very pale green in the pattern paper on the sugar cube. So I think I'm going to go in with my lily pad and just need some fun colors. Like, I actually don't think I'm going to do it with the flicking. I'm going to get another brush. I'm sorry, I'm getting my brushes off to the side here. I'm just going to go in very lightly with the lily pad. And I'm going to pick it up a little bit. I'm going to let that sit because it's pretty dark. It doesn't look dark. It's more minty color, but I just think it's too much for this. I'm trying to keep the little pastel kind of look. I have no pastel. Prima has some. Prima's, oh my gosh, Prima's just such a cool company. They have so many diversified, so diverse collections. Their embellishments, their flowers, just really the creativity of it is just amazing. I'm really liking how it looks here. It's looking very nice. Okay. You can still see my masking here and there. And I'm going to do something pretty radical here in a minute with the masking actually. But I'm just going to go back in. And when my final project is done, you'll see what I mean about the green. Just adds a little extra fun kick. Okay, so I'm just going down the line here with my different colors. Going in with my blackberry cordial. It's really cool. I'm just doing a little bit of that because it's pretty dark. I flicked. Actually going to do some flicks of that because that's such a fun color. Okay. Ooh. Going buck wild with the the nozzle drops. Okay. My last one. I'm not so sure if I'm going to be using my Michael's paint, my watercolor set tonight. I prefer my misting. I prefer using my mists as paints. That's just my personal preference. Everybody's different, obviously. But for this, I'm just liking how it's turning out with the mist, so I'm just gonna go with it. So now I'm filling in all the little holes where the gesso was, because right now I don't want the white to show, at least not yet. Sometimes you just gotta go with what you think is gonna look okay. Just suck that up a little. Okay, it's just seeping into the gesso. And you just want to go back and add any layers, you know. If it gets, sometimes the gesso soaks it in so much that, you know, it disappears, and I get really ticked off because that's wasting, waste not, whatnot. So I'm going back in, and I'm just going over my stencil work here. I'm not like being like, you know, going down each line. I'm just like spreading it on. It's a messy mess. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, going back in. You know, I'm actually liking how it's drying on top of the gesso. It's giving this really pretty pale cream color. Crushed shells is so cool. Look, it's my favorite. You know, I always thought that I was like a red person, and I hardly ever scrap red. All the colors that are my favorites, I hardly ever scrap. So, oh, that is turning out so cool. I like how that it's darker on the paper that wasn't treated with the gesso, and it's lighter on the gesso. It's kind of giving this cool, like, it's really giving it that pop. So I'm just going back over it here. And on the final product, obviously, you'll see what I mean. Obviously, you know, it's going to dry and be a little bit different. Alright, let's turn it into pretty messy. I love to mix. I told you last time that I love to juxtapose textures and, you know, patterns. And, you know, I have this pretty, you know, shabby chic pattern paper on top of this mess, and I love it. So now I'm getting my Prima wooden embellishments. You know, what I like about this is the color of the wood is going really nicely with how this crushed shells is drying. So I'm just snapping it. Snap off the end to make it kind of look rugged. I'm just going to tuck it in here and there. Ooh, that looks cool. I'm just snapping it off in pieces. I don't know where I'm going to put that one. Yeah. I talk to myself a lot when I'm scrapping. I'm like, I don't like that. Throw it off to the side. Ugh. Disgust. Ooh, that's really cool. Just breaking it off into pieces and just sticking it under there. That is very cool. Okay. Let me get a good shot of it. See right here and here, here and here, I've added the wood piece. And that's going to really look good because I'm going to add my love embellishment right there. We'll see. Here I am. I'm not a messy scrapper by any means, but my table is a wreck right now. I don't know if it's because I'm videoing and I'm just like frantically trying to get this done in a reasonable amount of time. Of course, my bottle of glue is not working. Stupid Elmer's glue. Alright, come on. Here I go talking to myself again. You guys are going to think I'm nuts. Okay. So I've decided that I'm going to do some classes on several different techniques that are my go-to. And I know I've said that before. I would love for you to shoot me an email if there's something specific that you'd like me to do a class on. You can find my email address on my blog. Please no spam. I will delete you. I hate spam on my blog. I think that's been happening a lot lately, and been really annoyed by it. Anyways, okay, so I'm just adding. I don't know why I just did that, because I might add my photo underneath. Oh, and I forgot about my cute little resin piece. How am I gonna incorporate that? All right, we'll figure it out. The whole process, you know, it's a work in progress. Obviously, you know, you're gonna pull stuff and it just doesn't work, and you're just gonna put it back. You're gonna be okay with it. The fact that you didn't use all of it. Okay, so it's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna turn it around and show you again. The lighting is really off still. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to just get a decent. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. Ladies, I am working on the lighting situation. I'm trying to make it better, but it's not working right now. Okay. I found this Manor House flower, white. I'm going to see if I can incorporate it somehow. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. Sometimes as I'm going through my stash, I'm like, oh, you know, that would be so cool. And I'll see if that works. And sometimes it doesn't work. And here I am covering up some of the stuff. And if it doesn't work, just yank it back off. Oh, she's such a cutie. Like. Alright, trying to think here. Now I'm grabbing some more of my flowers. I'm just gonna tuck them in here and there. Just see how it looks. Okay. Oops. Maybe I'll find a new home for this one. I don't want to waste it. Let's see if I can find a home for this. And, okay. Trying to see where I want to put this little bird cage. It's so cute. Alright. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the Manor House flower because it's pretty big. We'll see. We'll come back to that. Okay. Now I'm just going to add it's all about the process, ladies. Now you want to like tuck it, you want to tuck them under halfway. That's okay, you know. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my flower if I'm hiding it halfway under something, but I just really like how it looks sometimes, so I'm just going to go with it. And I need to incorporate this somehow. Feeling like I really want to put that on there, but I just don't know if it fits this kind of layout. This is what I do a lot of times. I just go back and like, okay, does this work? I think what's gonna happen, sometimes I stand up to kind of get a better bird's eye view of what's going on. If I tuck that, actually like that. Okay. I didn't think I was gonna go with the white flower, but if I can tuck that in, kind of make the like leaves pop out a little bit, I think I'm gonna go with it. It's adding. I think it's really fun. This flowers are fun. All right. Well, first let's get rid of the rest of these, and let's just worry about the white one. I might actually go about. Put this down. This is all part of my process. Just talking to yourself, kind of. I know it sounds crazy, but you know, talking it through in your head just kind of helps process things. You can stand up. You know, I'm a sitter. I chase my kids around all day. I don't want to stand any more than I have to. I'm a lazy butt. Anyways, but I do stand up from time to time to make sure that things are going good from up top. Okay, I am going to go back in with the blackberry cordial. Take your photo away. I'm going to spray the center. I'm going to go in. Oh, love it. Okay. I like how the flower. I don't want all that silvery stuff to be showing off, so I'm going to kind of fluff it up a little bit. Oh, I like this flower so much. It's so cute. Okay. All right. Looking good. All right. So that's taped down. Now I'm going back in. I don't know if I want to use. I might just want to. There we go. Talk to myself again. I'm adding my Prima little posies here. They look a lot. They look cool. Let's put the photo back on so we can kind of get an idea what's going on. I'm going to keep. That would be cute. Ooh. This might actually work. Very cute. I'm actually going to keep my little wooden piece in the middle, like that. Which one should I use? I'm wondering if it would be cool. Just play around with it. I have an idea in my head right now, and I'm not really sure where I'm going with it. But that's, again, a part of the process. I am trying to see if I want to add all of my love chipboard pieces to this, and then have that wooden one in the center. Get that. Oh, and also, where is that tiny one? There's 3 little tiny pieces that I had cut out and were ready to go, and I can't find them. Again, my desk is a mess. I'm sure they'll show up. Let's just keep going. Okay. I like how that looks, actually. I'll go with that. So I'm just pulling these off. I think they're adding some fun. Yeah. I'm liking it a lot. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's so cute. Love, 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 love. that fits my personality. Using all the love words. Okay. I think I'm going to keep it like that. Oh, it looks so cool. Okay. Now I'm going to glue these on quick before I forget where they are. I am going to use these. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Some of them are going to jut off the side of the paper. And I'm going to just snip it off. This is, yeah, I'm going to put this, okay, I'm going to keep it down here. Or I'll just leave it the way it is. And obviously when I crop it, when I'm taking a picture, you won't see it, but it'll still be on there. I have to journal. So I think I'm going to probably have some room to journal on a hidden tag and stick it under one of these layers here as soon as I figure out what I'm doing. Okay. So right now I'm just laying down all of my chipboard pieces from Scrap FX. They're an Australian chipboard company. I just joined their design team. I'm having a lot of fun working with the chipboard pieces. This is fun. They have this is from their April release. Can't wait to see what the May one is. I'm sure you'll be seeing it shortly. Okay, I love, 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 love. I'm so cheesy. My one scrappy friend, I was instant messaging her and she was like, I can tell you're a teacher. For those of you who don't know, I teach kindergarten in my spare time. I'm actually a stay-at-home mom right now, but that's my my first passion before I had kids, and then they became my passion. So right now I am not teaching. Hopefully someday I'll go back, but not right now. Alright, I am going to go back in with and start some stamping. I'm going to see what I can do here. Okay, never use my acrylic block. There are a couple occasions where I do use my acrylic block, and you'll see that I'm going to do another video. So I'm just going to go in and do some stamping. Just add some texture here and there. And because it's so uneven, I'm having a hard time getting it to lay flat. That's okay. Just going around adding oh, excuse me. Adding some stamp work to this. Again, I really don't have to feel like my stamping has to be straight or in any particular order. I just kind of just go with it and let it fall where it likes. And remember, I haven't added the rest of my flowers yet. Get those on there. And I still want to add my little resin bird cage, but I think I'm going to get rid of that. See, sometimes I pre-prep myself and then I don't like it and I feel like I have to take it off. Like with the resin bird cage, I pre-painted it and I'm not liking it, so I'm going to go back in with this Tim Holtz thing here. It's getting pretty messy. Making it kind of blurry. Rough it up a little bit. just going to do the whole thing. Looks a little blurry, but it's like fun. My favorite part about scrapbooking is you don't have to play by the rules. Like, there's so many people that want to play by the rules, and you know, I said this in my last video, and I mean it. Like, I've found so much freedom in just kind of doing my own thing. Like, you find your own style when you're not copying other people, and obviously when you're learning, you know, you want to take people's advice and learn from more experienced scrappers. But when you start out, you're just kind of like, I just want to do my own thing. I'm going to extend the stamping off of the layers a little bit, make it a little blacker in some areas, and then just extend it off onto the paper itself. Really give it some contrast. Just a messy mess. It's a mess. It is. I won't lie. It's turning out so cool. Alright. Then I'm like, oh no, you know, it's covering up all my old work. It's covering up the misting. And it actually just turns out for it to be really cool. I'm going to extend it off the page a little bit. And you don't want to become too overzealous. I've learned that the hard way sometimes too. I'm liking how the black is really popping. I'm just going to go off here. Just go crazy. See, I did not plan this. It's just me just exploring. Now you're seeing that a lot of my masking is being covered up, and that's just a part of the process, you know. I'm okay with it because it's turning out to be kind of grungy and fun against that posy paper. Now it's not so posy anymore. Ha! Pretty bad. It's just enough. You guys probably think I'm crazy. Some of you are probably thinking, oh my gosh, you ruined the whole thing. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm done with my stamping because I went crazy with it. Now for the last leg, I'm going to add my flowers. I'm going to tuck them in here and there and everywhere. Oh, she's so cute. Can't get over it. I think that the flowers will really balance it off anyways. Okay, let's put them right here. Tuck it behind there. Looking good, looking good. Okay, where do I want to put this now? So I want to put down here. It's hiding even more of the stenciling. But I'm actually going to go back in with the stenciling in a minute. Okay, I'm liking. Now I'm going to use a different color. So I think I'm going to go in with these manor house flowers. I don't know, I want to put that. Oh, that's so cute. I was looking to turn it out so good. It's not how I pictured it, but it works. And a lot of stenciling is covered up. Okay, I'm lifting it up to see from a bird's eye view what's going on. Okay. Oh, this is looking really cool. Okay, so there's a lot of color going on. There's a lot of black going on, and I think that I've covered up too much stenciling, and I don't want to do that. This is a whole part of the process. Just bear with me. I'm going back in, and I'm going to be very brave, and I'm going to do some stenciling over top of my layers, just a little bit. Sometimes the craft spackle can be a little too much. So I'm trying to find my little, where's that brush at? Here I go, losing things again. I need to, hopefully once I become more experienced with this whole YouTube thing, I can be a little bit more prepared. Okay, so I'm just going back in with my brush. I'm just trying to fill in, check it, see what it looks like. I'm just going back in. That's on here. Ah, cool. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna go back in with my stencil. Now I don't want to cover up too much of the pretty little Prima flowers. Oh, that is just enough enough stenciling to balance. I'm just going to do it off to the side for this one. It's just enough white to kind of balance and help make those love letters pop. Ugh, it's too much. Now this is where it gets fun when you mess up. And I'm glad you're seeing me do this. I want to show you what I do. I messed up with the stenciling. I added too much gesso. So I'm just going to take my spackle brush and just wipe it off. Just make it look like it was on purpose. Okay? It just looks whitewashed. Okay, let's try it again. Where's my brush at? Okay, alright, that looks better. I'm going to add some over here. Okay. Alright. Okay, I'm just adding it in to my corners. Almost done. It's looking kind of messy, but I did it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to extend it off the paper. Now that one was going that way, so I'm going to have this go. I'm going to pop this up for a minute because I'm going to go underneath, go back in with my stenciling. And there's another mistake. I have some gesso spilling over. It's going upwards. Okay. Oh, cool. Cute. Okay. I'm just going to whitewash it. Oops. See? I'm a mess sometimes. Truly. Literally and figuratively. Okay. So I'm going to actually try to figure this out. I want that to go here, but it's not wanting to pop up, so I'm just going to have to. I am almost done, my friends. Aren't you glad? Ah, done. Okay. So I'm done with that. Look at me. What a mess. Alright. Leaving that as is. Get my hands kind of ready for, I want to lay the photo down. Oh, that's so cute. Great. Land first down. Oh, what a cutie. Cutie patootie. And then the next one's going to go down. I see that it's kind of caving in here, so I'm going to add. Uh-oh. As you can see, my layouts are not perfect. I'm just fixing them the best I can. Alright. Adding another photo on top of the other layer. Kinda lift that out a little bit. All right. Awesome. Lay my love in there. Just gonna lay it in there. I'll glue it in there later. All right. Get these mix of the Prima and the Manor House, and we're almost done. Okay, so I added some more stenciling. On the final picture, I will probably go in and define that. I might even add a little bit more, but I just want you to get an idea. Here, I'm going to go in and just wipe off this bird cage. Get some of that paint out of the grooves so it's more white. And I'm just going to tuck it in. Tuck it in down here. And I'm going to add another resin piece. Don't know which one I'm going to use. I have a couple here. See here? Okay, right here. I love this little window. Maybe I can add that. Maybe I will add that. Or add this guy right here. I don't know. Alright. I think I've reached the over an hour, but it's his life. I'm going to just pop up and see and make sure that that is how I want it. Now seeing that some of it is a little bit off to the side. And so I'm going to probably go back in and add a few little tiny details to it, but for the most part it is done. I might add this to the side like that. Adorable. So we have a mixture of textures, we have a mixture of stenciling and stamping, we have wood, we have resin, maybe even add a little bit of metal at the end. Oh, I added metal. No. And you're done. Okay. Thanks so much for coming back. I ask that you just leave me some feedback. Shoot me an email if there's something that you would like me to explain in more detail. Give you an idea of, any techniques you're struggling with or just have questions about. I would love to do a tutorial. As I'm just starting out, I really want to dive in deep and get some new ideas under my belt and share my ideas with you. So please feel free to have open dialogue with me. Give me some feedback on ways that I can improve, and I will see you next time. Thank you.